Let's say somebody were to offer you $5 million and you were like, oh my God, that's a lot of money, because it is. But you had a stipulation. You'd have to give your right arm to get that $5 million. Would you do it? Most people would not. And that's probably a great decision. And when you look at certain situations going on in Hollywood or in the hip hop music industry, it's like these guys have to give up a whole lot to get to where they want to go. And as Cat Williams said, booty clapping sounds. Yes, getting your cheeks clapped. That's what you gotta sometimes give up. And I've heard it on and on and on again about this particular scenario. But what is more important for most of us who are in the African American male community is that we notice that a lot of our black men who are going into these industries are changing up something to go to the top. I remember when Martin Lawrence came on strong, especially on Def Comedy Jam back in the day. Strong black men. Then you started seeing him putting on a dress. And you're like, After he put on the dress, his career skyrocketed. It was the same thing with other black comedians. Somehow, some way, they had to do something to get further. Marlon Wayans and Shawn Wayans when they were in White Girls. Guys who were really masculine before, but they had to do something to get to the next level. And I was watching this particular podcast called Center for Biblical Unity, where this sister here, Monique Dewson, had this to say about the feminization of the black male voice.
One of the things that I'm noticing, Kevin, is just this increase in black men who are either dressing like women or have this real feminized voice, so to speak. So maybe feministic. So like advocating for black women and abortion, or wanting to just hold this position that's really feminist in nature, but not just feminist, feminized. So to me, this goes beyond, wearing a dress or even being homosexual. This just seems to lean into the idea that many black men, in my personal opinion, have shrunken back in the cultural conversation.
Boy, is she ever right. Give her a round of applause. And not only have we seen this in just entertainment, but we've also seen this, if you really want to be honest, in hip hop. For example, Mos Def is one of the most lyrically talented MCs of all time. Not only is he a great MC, he's an awesome actor. But Corey Holcomb pointed out some things about Mos Def, and here's that.
I disagree with you on him. I think he's one of the greatest comedians of all time. Shout out to Dave Chappelle. My only issue with Dave Chappelle is what happened to Mos Def when he started hanging out with Dave Chappelle turned Mos Def into a bottom. When did Mos Def go from being a hip hop lyricist to a power bottom? I'm watching the interview this did last week when he was talking about Drake's lyrics. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
And
you saw moistness, didn't you?
Somebody sucked all the manhood through it. What happened to the old Mos Def? If Chappelle don't give me answers, then I gotta agree with Corey.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. If you see a movie campaign, they don't just give them a movie campaign.
Right.
And Mos Def had a movie campaign.
Right.
He was in a lot of movies, and he did good in the movies.
Yeah.
But swallows.
Mos Def, he act like that dude do the butterfly for a living. Like he get money, like throw money at him for doing the butterfly.
You
man.
stupid.
What happened to Mos Def?
Yeah, it looks like Mos Def's been dressing a little funny style, very feminine, and we're seeing it in sports. Look at how LeBron James sometimes dresses, or Russell Westbrook. And for some brothers, it's a problem. But let's go to Rewind Nemo. Let's go to all the way to Atlanta, where we're dealing with this particular brother by the name of Playboy Carti, or Playboy Cart, or Carti, or whatever the hell he is. Now, this brother is, one of the better MCs, I guess, now in rap. I don't really check him out. I'm not really a big fan of Playboy Carti, but okay, people like him, right? And he was in LA going into the grocery store when all of a sudden he came outside in a goddamn thong. That's right. He was wearing a thong by himself. Like nobody made him put it on. He had it coming out, sagging, wearing a thong, lingerie. What does this mean? Well, I'll tell you what it means. It means that a lot of brothers are going to have to go down a certain path if they really want to get to the top of the mountain. And I'm not talking about, let's say, for example, brothers in the independent hustle, like brother Corey Holcomb. He said it best. If you guys want to get to the top of the mountain, look, it's certain things that you got to do.
Listen, I used to talk about gay Hollywood. And so many people would say to me, Corey think everybody gay. Listen to what I'm trying to tell y'all, man. I can't do nothing about the lifestyle of men who choose that. But I do want to give you a little information. All you guys who thinking of coming out of here thinking you gonna make it, your asshole must be sacrificed. You're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it, homie. If you ain't coming out of here to ride cowboy style at these parties.
It's not only him saying that, Cat Williams said that.
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. You know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is? Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job. But I'm not scared of being the competition. Yeah, on paper, they're a better team. They have all the assets and resources and we don't. But let us get on the line, boy, and see if that factors in. I guarantee you it won't. All of these shortcut takers, they canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before the thing came out, but he offered to suck my p in front of all my people at my agency. I told him no, what y'all do? And this is why when I walk in a room, heads go down. Behind my back, I'm nothing. I'm just a regular old comedian, but in my face, no, no, no. The king has walked in and they have to respect it only because I'm not taking the shortcuts. They pay you to not talk about things they don't want you to talk about.
And it all comes back to the point that black people don't really want to participate on the grassroots level. And that's the great thing about being independent. You see, brothers like Tariq Nasheed, brothers like Boyce Watkins, and other brothers have shown you don't need corporate big time money or people to play in the game. You can own your own stuff. And the moment that black people don't really want to do the work to own their own stuff is when you're going to start seeing other agendas. And this is the same thing that we suffer from politically. As the black community politically, we don't spend enough money developing our own agenda. So we sign up to somebody else's agenda, and then we get bad leaders like LaToya Cantrell in New Orleans or Tiffany Henyard in Dalton. We get mad, but we still vote that same ticket down the line, which is Democrat, and we don't get anything for our vote. We have the same problems year in, year out, year in, year out, and then nothing is changing. You're starting to see other people, like I would hear brothers complaining about immigration and how people from the immigrant countries are getting better housing than you. Well, it's because you don't have a political agenda. And when you don't have a financial agenda for your community, then you go on to the people who are paying who have an agenda for you. And many people believe that agenda does include the feminization of African American men in sports, in music, and in movies. And again, you've heard a lot of people confirm this by saying, listen, they want to make black men wear a dress. But that's going to always happen until black men say, look, you can keep that money. I don't want that money. I'd rather build up my own industry and make my own rules than to go about it the way that you would like me to do. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Shadu Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junket. Put your fire, you do scare the bell. We're out.